Hello, my beautiful feather tribe. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I am an empath as well as an intuitive tarot reader here on YouTube. Now, a quick announcement before we get into today's reading. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not going to be able to post weekly videos anymore because there are significant changes in my lifestyle and therefore I don't have as much free time as I had before. So most likely the new schedule will look like sort of a video per 2 weeks or something like that. So it will be a new video posted every other week instead of every week. And I hope it's not too disappointing or disheartening. Especially to those of you who have been following my videos very diligently and always being here, always watching my new uploads and commenting and leaving me likes and sharing your feedback. I really, truly appreciate it. It means so much to me that you're here. It means so much to me that you have come to my channel and that you have decided to stay. And to those of you who have just recently joined my channel, I appreciate all of you too. It means so much to me that our beautiful little feather tribe is growing, and I hope that it continues doing so. But yeah, on my end of things, I'm going to have to slow down the pace of the readings, and yeah, that's just the way that it's going to be. But I don't want to quit this channel. I don't want to stop making these readings for you guys. So hopefully this new uploading scheme or system is not too disappointing, and you will still check in with the uploads when they are uploaded. So yeah, that's my announcement that I wanted to make, just so that you wouldn't sort of stay in the dark about why I haven't possibly posted as much. Anyway, so now that that's out of the way, let's actually get to today's reading. So we are going to be looking at what sort of a first impression is your soulmate going to be leaving on you when you first meet them, or how are you going to be seeing your soulmate, what sort of first impression you have of them. Now again, we are looking at soulmate energy, and I know that to most people that means romantic connections, and they very well may be, but I wanted to again keep it more broad. And so a soulmate connection doesn't have to be specifically romantic. It can also be on a friendship level. But obviously, probably the most strong undercurrent of this reading is going to be aimed in a romantic direction. So this reading is more strongly directed at people who are single and who are still looking for their partner, or even people who are just looking for, again, those like soulmate connections within friendships. But if you are in a very secure, in a very happy marriage or committed relationship, or even in a situationship or whatever it is, if you're very, very happy with that person and you're not looking to meet anyone new, then this reading is not going to be for you. Okay, just wanted to make that super clear. But let's get straight to the piles. We have 4 piles for you to choose from, and again, you get 4 cards that are representing these piles. So we're starting from the left hand side, moving towards the right, and for pile number 1 we have the Healing Chaos card. For pile number 2 we have Illumination. For pile number 3, we have Going Forward. And for pile number 4, we have Miracles. So there you go. These are the 4 piles that you can choose from. Take your time, tap into your intuition, close your other senses if they get too distracting, and just sort of breathe deeply in and out and see what your body is telling you, which pile you feel drawn to. And if you feel drawn to more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. You can watch as many as you like, but generally there will be one pile that resonates for you the most. And if you are not resonating with any of the piles, that's okay too, because this is a general reading, so it is not going to resonate for every single one of you, and that's okay. yeah, just use your discernment as always. And with that being said, when you are ready, you can go into the description box down below or the comment section, click on the link, the timestamp that you need, and it will take you straight to your reading. So happy choosing, and I will see you in a bit. Hello, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are all doing really, really well and that you are excited. But let's get straight to it. So you chose this Healing Chaos card, and the impression that I'm getting off of this card is that possibly the way that your soulmate comes into your life is quite unexpected. It might actually even be quite tumultuous. It may end up happening at a time when your life is like quite messy, or when you possibly maybe going through a lot of changes, a lot of transformations, because I see a lot of butterflies. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. Let's see if you can. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. It's kind of difficult to show the cards very well on this camera, but anyway, so there are a lot of butterflies on this card. Actually, there are, let me count them, 4, 6, 8. There are 8 of them. So possibly 8 is a number that means something to you, or 8 may become like a significant number. Maybe it symbolizes the month of August, so maybe you meet them in August, or maybe you meet them on the 8th day of a month, or something like that. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just very sort of crazy, all of this energy. But like the card says, it's healing chaos. So even though it's very like all over the place, very up and down, it's a very stirring energy. There is a deeper meaning behind it. The deeper meaning lies in helping you progress, helping you develop, helping you grow, and helping you deal with some issues, close out some chapters, and move on with your life in a better, healthier, easier manner. So I definitely feel from this card, and the fact that you chose this card, I'm getting the sense that this soulmate that you are going to be meeting is definitely going to have a very profound effect on your life. They are going to be a very healing presence in your life, or the way that your relationship is going to go and the role that they are going to be playing in your life has a substantial effect on you as a person, and helping you again move forward, move on in your life, especially from something that has been painful, something that has left its mark on you, possibly even something that has taken away from you. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but yeah, because of the colors of this card as well, I'm seeing a lot of this like dark, a lot of these dark clouds with this magenta in the center here, and even some green. And so I'm feeling like there could be like some jealousy, or there could be some really heated emotions that are surfacing, or that are brought to the surface when you do meet this person. Or at least I feel like this person is going to stir up a lot of emotion in you. It's definitely not going to be the sort of connection that just like quietly progresses and like moves from A to B. It's more going to be like, I almost feel like a roller coaster ride, or it's going to be a lot of like ups and downs, and it's going to, yeah, I feel like it's going to dig up a lot of like ancient stuff in you, a lot of dormant stuff in you. And not all of it is definitely going to be like pretty or easy, But again, this is almost like a vulture type energy that I'm feeling, where these things, these emotions, they need to be brought up in you so that you could finally like release them and let go of them, so that they wouldn't be like weighing you down in like your next relationship. So you wouldn't be carrying that sort of emotional baggage into your next relationship. And again, these next relationships, they don't have to be necessarily romantic. I'm talking of like the general way that you relate to other people, within your family members, within your community, within your workspace, within your friendships, you know, like all kinds of relationships that you have in your life. So I do feel like this connection and this person, that your soulmate who is going to be coming into your life, they are going to help transform you and transform your relationships and transform your emotional space. So yeah, a very powerful connection, definitely. But let's keep going. We have quite a few cards to go through. So this was just sort of the initial energy that I was tapping into based on the card that you chose. But we are now going to move on to the oracle portion of the reading, which is going to actually describe us, or describe to us, what sort of a first impression you are going to have of your soulmate. So yeah, let's see. It's going to be very interesting to see, especially based on this card, what we have. Okay, the first card out is Pallas Athena. Ooh, dolphin. Wow, and we have serendipity. Oh my God, we have number 24, Oya, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Storms, meaningful destruction. Yeah, storms, not surprised that this is coming out. We also have number 11, balance. She who emerges, enlightenment, mindfulness, rise up. And finally, psyche. Okay. So pile number 1. I'm looking at all of these cards and I'm getting a very interesting contrast here. I did mention briefly from this Healing Chaos card that I feel like your soulmate is going to be stirring up some deeply buried or deeply embedded emotions in you, bringing some stuff up to the surface that you maybe haven't looked at for quite a while, or that maybe you didn't even know that was there within you. It could be stuff that you think that you have resolved, or that you think you have left behind, but something about this person is actually going to be pushing on the right button so that some of those things that you thought you'd left behind are going to be coming back up again. And that's not a bad thing. It's just to show you that there's still possibly some stuff that is unresolved and that has been affecting your behavior and has been affecting how you respond or react in certain situations and to certain people, and how that may actually not be that beneficial for you. But the interesting thing here is that with both of these dolphin and serendipity cards, I'm kind of getting the sense that the first impression that you're going to have is that they are someone who is like unscathed, or who isn't jaded, who isn't tainted by like past experiences, or it almost feels like they have led a very happy, very prosperous, very easy life, and that they don't really know what hardship is. Because with dolphin and serendipity, these are both very like happy, in flow, playful, joyful, almost like childlike in their energy. And so it may appear on the outside as if your soulmate has had it quite easy or has had it quite auspicious in their life. And even though I actually feel like that's not really the truth, especially because we have the Palace Athena here, which makes me think that there is actually a very concrete reason for them sort of acting the way that they do and for them being the way that they are. There is a bigger meaning behind it, and it's all very much thought out, or it's a result of a lot of like mental but also emotional work that they have done, but it doesn't really show on the surface. And I feel like because of their sort of, I keep hearing like happy-go-lucky. I don't know if like that's the best way to say it, but I keep hearing it, so I'm just gonna say it. They may have this like happy-go-lucky way that they like are, the way that they conduct themselves. And I actually feel like that is going to be the thing that triggers you the most. That is going to be the thing that like brings up some of these like gunky or weird emotions that are somewhere like stuck within you. And so I feel like the sort of the first time that you meet them, you are actually going to be like either like annoyed by them or just simply possibly like not thinking as highly of them, or thinking that they are, how should I say, like a bit naive or a bit childish, like a bit immature, when in truth, that is not the case at all. Again, I feel like this is just the way that they present themselves because they are actually in like flow with things. They have worked through a lot of stuff within themselves. And so that's why, because they have shared a lot of the burdens that they have gone through, you don't see those burdens with them anymore. You don't see what they have gone through. And so it may appear as if they haven't had any. So yeah, again, definitely the first time you meet them, it's not going to be like a very easy, everything like falls into place. Your hearts just like melt each other's, and when your eyes meet, and everything is going to be just like these rainbows and butterflies, and the angels are going to sing in a choir, and it doesn't seem like that type of moment at all. It actually seems like possibly quite the opposite. You may not actually like them that much at the beginning, but again, I feel like it's because they are triggering you. They are triggering some wounds or some like spots that haven't fully healed, and they are almost like revealing the cracks in the foundation that you thought was very strong already. So with Storm's meaningful destruction, that's what I feel like you are going to sort of feel when you first meet them. And I love that it says meaningful destruction, because like we had with this card, healing chaos, it's all for the greater good of you, or for the benefit of you. It's actually to bring things into balance. And I feel like with this balance card as well, it's almost like you may view them as someone who has like their life very well figured out, someone who is like almost too put together, or like looks like they are very much in control of themselves and very much in control of their life. That may be a part of the trigger too. But now, looking at both of these cards together, we also have She Who Emerges, Enlightenment, Mindfulness, Rise Up. And I feel like because we're still focusing on what sort of a first impression you have of them, it seems like there is something rather like spiritual about them, or something very like aware, or just like very mindful. It's almost like they are almost so focused on the here and now that they don't really seem to worry themselves with like what's to come or what's in the future. And again, I feel like because of that sort of attitude, you may at first perceive them to be a bit, again, immature or too naive, too trusting, like that type of thing. But I feel like you also recognize the sort of the level of empathy that they have, the level of like compassion and understanding and holding space for others. There is something very almost like humanitarian about them, I want to say. And I feel like it's something that you do really like or do really appreciate. I don't know. I feel like this side of the spread talks about the things that like annoy you and the things that trigger you, and this side of the spread talks about the things that like makes you feel a bit like more drawn in or makes you interested in them, because I feel like you can actually feel very like comfortable with them, but at the same time there are a lot of things that like trigger you. But I feel like the way that that your soulmate is going to like respond to your triggers or respond to the way that you may react to them or to what they are saying, to how they are behaving, I feel like their response to that is going to be very like soothing, and again very like compassionate, very understanding. And I feel like that's the thing that is going to actually like draw you in or make you feel like seen and make you feel understood and make you realize that they are not actually as sort of naive as you maybe thought at first that they were. Because again, we have this Pallas Athena here, and Pallas Athena is anything but naive. Pallas Athena is almost like a Queen of Swords energy. It's very perceptive, it's very sure of themselves, it's very like intellectual, very intelligent, very strategic, very much sure and secure within themselves. And so again, I feel like this person actually has a lot of like mental capacity, a lot of mental acuity. They are actually very good at like sensing out what is currently around them. Again, we have both of these cards here with enlightenment, mindfulness, and psyche again, which is talking about that like psychic the psychic skill or intuition, that sort of aspect of feeling and being very intuitive and being very compassionate. So I feel like there is a nice balance of that. And so I have a feeling that you are going to sense how powerful of an effect this person has on you. Again, remember when I started out the spread by talking about like an interesting contrast that I was feeling here? That's the contrast that I'm feeling, that there is going to be a bit of a stormy emotional reaction that you get at first from this person, but then as you sort of see and experience the more like soft and gentle and understanding and compassionate and again like balanced and fair and supportive aspect that comes through this person, that's when you sort of start feeling like a bigger draw to this person. But yeah, I do feel like they are going to expose your sort of again the cracks in the foundation, or the spots where you may be a bit jaded because of your like past experiences, and it may reveal the spaces or the spots where you are still actually very like either guarded or like walled off or insecure or any of those types of things where there are still some like painful spots. And I feel like this person is going to be sort of pushing your buttons, as I said, highlighting them for you. But yeah, okay, so that's what I feel from the first impressions. Again, as I said, a very interesting mix of energies coming through, almost like polarizing energies, but again, it seems to have a very, very powerful effect. So yeah, okay, let's move on. We are going to look at some tarot cards next, and we are going to see how the relationship with this person is going to progress. So we're first going to see what sort of feelings you develop for this person, or how your feelings will develop. And then we're going to see how your relationship is going to move forward. So let's see. Oh my God, we have another card of justice. This is a card of justice as well, both a number 11. This is just called balance in this deck. So yeah, okay. Interesting. We also have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And we have, oh my God, the Queen of Swords actually came out. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, like we were talking about with the Pallas Athena card here. Yeah, so Queen of Swords has made an appearance. Wow, the Four of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Beautiful. So let's start with the Justice, Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles first. So these three cards are talking about how your feelings will develop towards this person. Now, as I said, I do feel like the connection is going to be like a roller coaster ride, or the way that this connection develops is going to be a roller coaster ride. And I do see that portrayed here in your emotions towards this person, in your feelings towards this person, because we have two very stark contrasts yet again. Your reading is full of contrasts. We have the Knight of Wands and we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands is like the most playful, the most passionate, the most courageous, the most like devil may care energy, the most enjoying, or yeah, like living life to its fullest type of energy of the knights, versus the Knight of Pentacles, who is the most reserved, the most cautious, the most deliberate, the most like slow, or slow paced. So I definitely see your emotions sort of fluctuating between that Knight of Wands energy and that Knight of Pentacles energy. So there are going to be times when you feel a lot of passion and a lot of fire and a lot of chemistry and a lot of like playfulness and curiosity and wanting to like pour your emotions out, or wanting to express yourself very openly to this person. And then there are going to be times when, most likely when your soulmate starts like again triggering some like painful spots for those to be healed, that's when you sort of feel more cautious. That's when you feel the desire or the urge to like pull back again, to take it more slowly, to draw yourself into a little shell. But I love the way that this deck portrays the Knight of Pentacles, because you can actually see him moving and leaving behind these pentacles as he goes. So exactly like we were talking about before, there is going to be a shedding process. And I feel like as you sort of develop this connection with your soulmate, or as your feelings grow for this person as well, there is going to be a shedding that you are doing. There is going to be a releasing that you're doing, and you are relieving your emotional baggage, so that you could, as I said, not carry this stuff with you into your next relationships, or even into your current relationships, right? So that they wouldn't have that much like control over you. But with Justice being here, I do feel like your feelings are going to grow in quite a steady manner. It's going to possibly take time. I do feel that. But I do feel like it's going to be this like this, again, this seesaw, or this, like the balancing of the scales, right? Going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's sort of how I see your emotions developing as well. Even though in general it's going to be a steady process, it's going to be fluctuating between these two like extremes, feeling very strongly and then wanting to like pull back again, or wanting to shelter yourself, right? When these painful areas or triggers get activated. But now, looking at these beautiful cards, we have the Queen of Swords, Four of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. And these are talking about how your connection will move forward. And I do feel like with the Queen of Swords, there is going to be a lot of like clarity, a lot of realizations that are going to sort of appear as your connection with this person develops. And again, we have 2 swords cards, so it makes me feel that there is going to be a very strong, like a mental connection that you have with this person. Again, I feel like that's the thing that you are sort of drawn to, that you see how much they have worked on themselves. You see where this like happy-go-lucky expression comes from. As you sort of get to know this person more and as you delve deeper into who they really are. And so there is a lot of this like mental connection, gaining a lot of understanding, having a lot of like mental breakthroughs with the Ace of Swords as well. There is going to be a lot that this connection reveals to you about yourself. And I feel like this other person is going to find out even more about themselves through you as well. So the Ace of Swords is definitely indicative of like some truths or mental breakthroughs happening within the connection. But we have the Four of Wands smack dab in the middle here. And the Four of Wands is like, it's my favorite card in the tarot. And I love that it's the center card here, because it tells me that there is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of enjoyment, a lot of like feeling of growing closer together, a growing sense of like intimacy, a growing sense of like fun and enjoyment and belonging that I see here. It's a card of celebration, and it's a card of like strong foundations. So I do see that this connection is, as I said, like going to actually help repair some of the cracks in your foundation that you may not be aware of. And it's going to do that through showing you how life can actually be enjoyable, how relationships can be enjoyable. So I actually feel like you are going to have some really amazing, really fun, really great and like laughter-filled times with this person. And you are going to be growing like closer together as this sort of person keeps highlighting these cracks and then like bringing down the walls or helping destruct the walls that you have built up around you in some areas. And I feel like the more that the connection between you develops, the more easy it's going to be for you to see and actually like understand how many walls were up for you without you even realizing it. Because we have this Queen of Swords card here, which again, I love this deck anyway, but I love how the cards are depicted. And you can see that there is a little cup here that is hidden behind bars that is very, very well guarded and protected. And the Queen of Swords, like the cup's symbol, it represents emotions, it represents the heart, it represents vulnerability. And so because the Queen of Swords keeps hers very, very well like safeguarded and protected and shielded, she may appear very like cold and distant, but in truth that's not the case. She's just very, very cautious about letting people in. And so I do feel like this connection is going to possibly like develop in a slow and steady manner too. It's not going to be like a very quick thing, but I feel like it is going to show you a lot of these aspects of yourself. For some reason, I'm feeling this Queen of Swords energy is actually like reflecting you again. I feel like it's going to actually reveal to you a lot about yourself that you didn't know was there, and that you maybe didn't see expressed itself, or how you expressed yourself in relation to other people. So yeah, wow. Okay, very, very exciting and a very powerful connection, definitely. But we are going to close the reading out with 3 oracle cards, and these oracle cards are going to be last pieces of advice for you from Spirit regarding this reading. So let's see what Spirit has to say. We have Stag, trust and thrive. Yeah, again, as I said, I feel like this connection is going to teach you how to trust again. It's going to teach you how to lower your walls, how to let your guard down, and to actually mend the cracks in the foundation and sort of, yeah, it's exposing the wounds, right? So that you could move forward into next relationships without those painful spots. We also have Sage, be devoted and committed. Okay, so I do feel like the reason why this card is here is because the triggering effect at times may actually how should I say it? It may actually provoke a sense of like wanting to run or wanting to like we had with this Knight of Pentacles, right? Like pull back from the connection and from this person, just because it may get a bit too much at times. Because of course it's like, it's not easy facing those things that cause us pain, or that are sort of bringing up the painful, the uncomfortable past experiences that we are trying to like leave behind, that we're trying to forget. But I feel like this this piece of advice here is very much urging you to not give up on this connection, to not give up on this person, even if you do get triggered, because ultimately I feel like it's going to be so beneficial for you. And finally, we have Air Guardian, shift your perception. Yeah, exactly. I feel like, and that's what I feel like this person is here to do. Again, we have this like, we have this chaos energy here, right? With the storm. We had this like Pallas Athena energy here. We had the storm energy here. We had all of these swords cards here. That swords, even justice, because it's Libra, right? It's an air. It's an air sign, so there is a lot of air energy here. And so I do feel like your perception and your understanding is like the key element in this reading, and how this person, how your soulmate is going to reveal to you where your perception may be like distorted in a more like self-deprecating, in a negative way. It's going to have a very healing effect on you. I hope that made sense. But yeah, wow, I am going to leave it here, pile number one. I feel like I have taken up way too much time already, but thank you so much for being here. I really enjoy delivering this message. I feel like it's going to be quite a ride. It's going to be very interesting, but the outcome of it is going to be absolutely priceless. So enjoy the ride, and yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know. I would really, really appreciate it. You can do that by giving me a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment down in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more readings from me and if you want to hang out in the future. But yeah, any information that you need is in the description box down below, so go check that out. And other than that, I will hopefully see you guys in my next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this illumination card, and now looking at this card, the energy that I'm feeling here is that your soulmate is going to be someone who like reflects some things back to you. Because I'm looking at the way that this card is like designed, and I'm seeing the reflection on the lake, right? You can see sort of the two halves mirroring each other. And so the effect that I'm getting here is that when you meet your soulmate and the more that you develop a connection with them, they will actually either be like very similar to you in a lot of ways, or they will just, again, like mirror back to you a lot of the traits that like either you value or that you see in yourself, and possibly also a lot of the things that you want to change about yourself. So yeah, I feel like when you meet them and when you have like your first conversations with them, you may actually be like surprised by how much you have in common, by how similar you are. There may be like some crazy synchronicities between you, or between like the things that you have experienced, the things that you have gone through. Maybe you like actually grew up in the same area. Maybe you actually went to the same school together. Maybe like the friends that you know also know them, or that you are somehow connected through like mutual friend groups, but you've just never ran into each other before. Like it's something, I don't know, crazy like that. Or maybe like you were at an event and they also attended that event, but you just didn't meet, but you were in the same place at the same time. You know, like that type of thing. That's what I'm getting here with this illumination card. That there's going to be a lot of like very crazy, cool, synchronistic revelations that come out, but that also it's not just like these external things that are like similar, but also a lot of internal things that are similar between you two. So that's the main thing that I'm getting from this card, but I'm also getting a sense that the connection with your soulmate, or your soulmate, is going to also like broaden your mind quite a bit, or help you to see things in a new light, help you to think of things in a way that you haven't thought of them before. It's yeah, it's kind of an interesting combination here, where it's like there are a lot of similarities and there are a lot of things that like unite you, but then there is also an element of like your soulmate letting you know of things that you didn't know before. So yeah, it's definitely a very interesting energy that I'm feeling here, and I'm very much looking forward to dive into these cards already. So this was just the sort of first initial energy that I was picking up on, like why you chose this card and how it is connected to your soulmate and the connection that you're going to be sharing. But let's move on to the oracle cards next and actually see what is going to be the first impression that you have of them when you first meet them. So, okay, we're starting off with the 7th house. So straight off the bat, this tells me that this is going to be a romantic connection for you, or you are going to have romantic interest towards this person. We also have Hawk. Oh, and Imagine. Okay, love that. I feel like it's actually confirming that, like, broadening your mind somehow, like that aspect seems to be reflected here too. Okay, we also have number 35, Ocean. I hope I said it right, and I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Sweet Waters, Sensuality, Pleasure. Wow, we have another number 7, Crown Chakra. Yeah, not surprised to see this here. She Who Nurtures, Empathy, Gentleness, Insight. And Waxing Gibbous Moon. Okay. Wow, pile number 2. Let's get to it. So the first most strong and most important message that I'm getting here is that when you meet this person, you will very strongly feel that this is something special. You will very strongly feel that this person and yourself have a deeper soul connection. I feel like you can absolutely feel the sort of the divinity when you first meet them. There is almost this like, you know, not all soulmate connections are going to be like that. Not all soulmate connections are going to be like this instant attraction and this instant pull towards that person. There may be some like intrigue, and there may be something that you can't like quite put your finger on, but it doesn't necessarily always have to manifest in a way that there is like wave of emotions and this like instant love, this instant physical attraction and that type of thing. It doesn't always happen, but for you, I feel like that is definitely the case. Because as I was saying with the 7th house here, it almost seems like you will feel straight away that this person is someone that you are going to be ending up with, or that you're going to want to like spend either maybe even your whole life with, because the seventh house is very often in astrology the house of marriage, the house of partnership. Now, if you're not interested in getting married, it can just be a very serious, long-term committed relationship too. But seventh house is serious business. Seventh house is like, is your committed partnership to someone. And so with it coming out in the first impressions part, it's clear to me that you are going to have a very strong pull and a very strong sense of knowing that this is your person. Especially because, again, we have all of these like very spiritual, very divine cards here. We have the hawk, which is like the divine messenger. Very, very, like, I associate it very strongly with the divine. We also have she who nurtures, right, with empathy, gentleness, insight. And I love the way that she has this little gemstone like on her third eye, essentially. And even on this Oshun card, we also have she's also wearing a little headpiece that has a gemstone on her third eye. So again, the third eye being a very, very spiritual, psychic chakra, it tells me that there is a stronger draw to this person that you can't quite explain, that you can't put into words, but you just feel it. It's like your soul recognizes them. The same with the crown chakra. It's the chakra, the highest of the 7 chakra system, and it's the chakra on top of the head. That's why it's called the crown chakra, and it's the chakra that connects you to the divine, to your spiritual team, to your higher self. And so there is very much this like soul level energy here, which makes me feel like you are going to recognize their soul almost immediately when you see them. And oh my God, I just noticed, it just clicked to me that she's actually holding up a mirror. What was I saying with this card? I feel like this person is going to mirror you, or you are going to see a lot of like mirroring back energy. So your souls are going to mirror each other, and that's why you are going to be feeling this very strong connection. We also have this waxing gibbous moon, and the waxing gibbous moon is pretty much like the last phase before the full moon. And with this being here, I feel very strongly that like your feelings are going to grow very quickly. It's almost like they're going to go from like a 0 to 100 in a very short amount of time. And that's because, again, there is this soul level recognition happening here. It's not just like any random connection and your soul knows it. That's why they are your soulmate, right? That's why we're doing this reading. And so it doesn't really take much for you to feel drawn to that person and for them to feel drawn to you. And even with this like sweet water sensuality and pleasure, I do see a lot of like sexual attraction as well. There is going to be a lot of like, again, physical chemistry between you, but it sort of like goes beyond it. And I feel like the reason why it sort of becomes so intense so quickly is because of this like imagine card here, and all of the crown chakra card and the hawk card and all of those here too. Because I feel like your connections and your sort of mental connection with that person, the spiritual connection between you, is something that is unparalleled to anything you have ever experienced before. It almost seems like a dream, I want to say, or it's almost something that you have been waiting for. Possibly even your whole life, or something that you have been manifesting. I mean, even on this card, we have this moon symbology, and we have all of these clouds, and there are a lot of clouds here, and we have the moon card here. So with the moon coming out in so many of these cards, even on this card, actually, we can see a little bit of a crescent moon showing. At least that's what it looks like. But it just seems like there is a lot of like dreaminess or dreamlike quality here. And I feel like the conversations that you're going to be having with this person, they are going to broaden your mind so much, right? I almost feel like through those connections, you actually realize like what this person came here to teach you, or why they are so important in your life. And it may not be like a very clear thing, like from the get-go, but I just feel like there is going to be a very deep understanding of something, especially with empathy, gentleness, and insight as well. It almost seems like this person is here to teach you the true meaning of love, or the meaning of like true unconditional love, I should say. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel. And you know how some people say, there are all of these videos as well that are made of like people who have been together, who have been married for like pretty much their whole lives, and they are still together very, very happily, even in their like retired phase of life, right? And like some people in those types of connections say that when they first met their like spouse, they knew instantly that that was the person that they were going to marry. Like for some people, it's very instantaneous, and it's like, it's this like aha moment, this like light bulb moment, this like knowing exactly, or being sure that that's their person. And I kind of see that for you too, for you as well here, especially with the hawk and the 7th house. It kind of feels like very quick or very instantaneous, like having that sudden realization. But anyway, let's keep going. This is a very, very, very sweet energy, and congratulations if you chose this pile, and if this reading resonates for you, if that is what is manifesting for you, then seriously, congrats, because I like, in my personal view, that is possibly like the best way to meet a soulmate connection. But anyway, let's keep going. We're going to move on to the tarot portion next, and we're going to see how your relationship will actually develop. So first we're going to look at your feelings and how those will develop, and then we're going to look at your connection and how that will move forward in time. So, okay, we're starting off with the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the 7 of Cups. Oh, okay. And we have the 10 of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Pentacles. Not surprised at all to see these cards. Not surprised at all. Okay, so let's dive into these. Now, let's start off with your feelings and how those will develop. So we have the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the 7 of Cups. Now, the thing I'm feeling here is that, especially with the 4 of Swords, it feels like you are going to feel very safe with this person. You're going to feel very protected, like your heart is well cared for, like there's nothing for you to really worry about. I mean, we had that here as well, right? With she who nurtures, empathy, gentleness, insight. So there is a very gentle energy here, and I feel like that's why you sort of feel straight away that this person is someone who it is safe to be yourself around, or it's like it's safe for you to show your vulnerability and your true self and share your true thoughts and true feelings. It feels very like safe. But I also feel like with the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Swords being together like this, it seems like you will actually understand why like the past relationships or past connections that you've had haven't worked out, like what you actually left those relationships for. It all sort of like falls into place, so it all makes sense. So in that sense, I love these cards. But with the 7 of Cups being here, it's not a bad card. I don't want you to be like stressed about it, but I do see a bit of like confusion and almost a bit of like skepticism, thinking whether it's actually possible, sort of having this like a little hesitant moment, because you may be thinking whether it's actually real, whether it's actually possible that things can be like this good, that things can be this happy, that things can actually work out the way that they are, that things can actually just fall into place in a relationship like this. So there may be some like questioning, or there may be some hesitation where you could, again, not be that sure, or almost sort of ask yourself whether this is all a dream, whether this is all a fantasy, whether it's actually real. But I do feel that it is. But just don't freak out if those sorts of like questioning emotions appear, because I just feel that they are all simply a byproduct of the past relationship disappointments that you have gone through. That's all it is. That's why you are having this like hesitant, doubtful moment, because again, I feel like at times it may be you may feel like it's too good to be true. And I'm not saying that the connection is going to be all like roses and rainbows and all of that, even though we do have a lot of rainbows here. But anyway, it's obviously you are obviously going to have certain sort of lessons that you need to go through, and certain challenges that you are going to be facing with this person. But generally speaking, I feel like it's just such a strong and such a like real connection, like true soul level, heart level connection, that it may set some like alarm bells off in you just because you are not used to it, just because you've never had it before. But I do love that it's actually going to make you realize why none of your past relationships worked out, why none of those people were the right ones for you. But wow, let us focus on these cards here. Oh, sorry. Okay. I feel pulled back to the Seven of Cups. The last thing I want to say here is that just to be mindful that if you do feel like you are getting sucked into that like hesitation mode, try and like get out of your head as much as possible. Again, with the Four of Swords, I feel like it's very important to like take it easy and to not get like stressed out, even though again, because the Four of Swords is the center card, it makes me feel like you are not going to be too like freaked out, and you are going to feel rather at ease, and your feelings are going to feel secure and safe and protected. But yeah, with the Seven of Cups, even though it's a Cups card and it's usually talking of emotions, it's making me think that you may get stuck in your own head. So just be mindful of that. If you feel yourself getting stuck in your head, I feel like you can just talk to the person and like let them know, and I feel like they are going to sort of help you through that hesitation, or help you through those things that you may be feeling, because they are your soulmate, so they get it. But again, coming back to these three cards here, we have the Ten of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Pentacles. And these three cards are talking about how your relationship or how your connection will move forward. Now, again, with the Tower here, I did mention that I feel like it's going to be a rather quick thing. There's going to sort of like almost be this like instant attraction that you feel, this instant recognition. And with the Tower, it seems like your relationship is going to develop very rapidly too. But with it being bookended by the Ten of Cups and the King of Pentacles, this is steady as, seriously. This is like very secure, very stable, very like grounded and very loving. The Ten of Cups is seriously like the best card that you could, one of the best cards that you could get in a relationship reading, because this is saying that like your connection is truly a soul level connection. It's one of like emotional abundance, fulfillment, true vulnerability, true emotional support, everything that you can really, everything that you've been dreaming of, right? That's why the rainbow is here, everything that you have been dreaming of. And it is the result of going through some like painful, difficult, challenging relationships that have all been necessary to get you here. And again, I feel like that's the realization that you're going to have as you are developing stronger feelings for this person. It'll all make sense. It'll all fall into place. And with the King of Pentacles here, this to me feels very long term. This to me feels, it's a card of Taurus. So this is as grounded as you could possibly get, as like long-standing, as loyal, as steady, as trustworthy as you can get. And this is the last card here, so it's, in a sense, it's like the most punchy, meaning that I wouldn't be surprised if you sort of go through all of the milestones rather quickly, like moving in together, having children if you want them, or I don't know, getting a dog or a cat or any other pet that you want, or getting married, doing all of those things, right? Like going through all of the stages of a serious relationship. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if it happens really quickly for you with the Tower here. But it is a long-standing, a very long-term, stable thing that just keeps like growing and maturing and becoming more steady as time goes on. Even with the wolf here, it makes me feel like the connection is just so protected and so like keeping close together, or it's like you are both having each other's backs, like you're both supporting each other's growth and each other's development and you are just sort of excited and happy to share your lives with each other. So, wow, oh my God, guys, this is like the perfect reading, I do have to say. So again, if this is your reading, congratulations, honestly. But we're going to close the reading out with some final oracle cards, and these are going to be advice from Spirit regarding your reading. So let's see. We have Shaman, trust in higher forces. Yeah, again, higher forces, as I was saying, divinity is all over these cards. It is not a coincidence. This is a soul contract for sure that you have made with this person, and it's a very strong and a very, very powerful and happy one. So yeah, again, trust in higher forces, trust in the process. There may be some doubt creeping up in you, but it's just the result of the past experiences that you've had. So don't let those like cloud your judgment. Don't let those cloud your true feelings and that like soul level knowing, because it is all in accordance to a higher power. We have Seer, see beyond the current situation. Yeah, again, I feel like, actually, I kind of feel like you will know anyway, like you will be able to sense it, you will be able to see it. And it's so interesting again that she's wearing this like headpiece that like is very droopy and that like covers her third eye again. So a lot of third eye energy here that I'm feeling. So it is going to feel very strong intuitively. You are going to feel this connection and you're going to feel this pull towards this person very, very strongly. But yeah, I feel like you kind of need to see this whole relationship and need to see how your whole life has led you to this point, how your spiritual team, how spirit has led you to this point, and why all of those past experiences were necessary for you to finally like be ready and come into connection with that person. So see the sort of the bigger meaning behind it. And finally, we have Oracle, wait for important information. Yeah, so I feel like this is just saying that like you will know it when you see it. You'll know it when you see it. And like, I also feel like why this card is here is just to like let you know that like don't start looking for this person. Don't start like analyzing. I know it's a lot easier said than done, trust me. But like any new person that you meet, don't try and like analyze whether that's the person that this reading is talking about, because I feel like that knowledge will sort of hit you in time, and that connection is going to come in, is going to materialize when the time is exactly right. Like this has a divine signature all over it, and I feel like you don't have a lot of control over the situation. You will not have a lot of control how this connection comes to be, or how or when you meet this person. But rest assured, you will meet them, and when you do meet them, you will recognize it. You will know straight away. But it may just take some time, a bit of time with this wait for important information. I feel like Spirit is having things in the works, and when everything is perfectly set up, that's when things will sort of all fall into place, and you will recognize this person. But anyway, oh my goodness, pile number 2, I am actually jealous. If you chose this pile, I mean, amazing. This is amazing stuff. So you should be so happy and so excited. And I really hope that you are. So let me know how this reading spoke to you, whether it spoke to you, whether you feel in your gut that this is your reading and that's exactly how you're going to be meeting your person. I would love to hear from you. And if you don't want to really be too vocal about it, you can also just leave me a thumbs up, and that would support my channel immensely as well. So thank you. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to do more cool readings together in the future. But yeah, any other information that you need is in the description box down below, so check that out if you are interested. And that is all from me. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, I truly hope to see you guys very soon in my next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. I am so excited that you are here, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you're all doing really well. But let's get straight to the reading. So you chose this going forward card. And the energy that I'm feeling here is that the way that you're going to meet your soulmate is through like a bit of a risky situation, or okay, maybe that's not the best way to say it. I feel like when you actually move yourself out of your comfort zone in some aspect of your life, when you are taking a sort of like a calculated risk, or you're stepping into uncharted territory, that's when I feel like you're going to meet this person. Because I'm looking at the way that this little country road is depicted here, and there is a lot of it looks like fog or something. It's kind of hazy at the forefront of this card, and then you can see the road winding and going into where you can't really see where it's going, and then the sun is peeking out behind the tree here. So it's all sort of it's a bit mysterious. It's you can't quite see what is going to be revealed. When the sun comes out and when the fog clears, that's when things get a bit more apparent, a bit more clear. But I do see that there is some need to move out of a familiar situation, and possibly move out of a sort of a tricky situation, or something where things are not quite right. So it could be that if you are, let's say that you are currently in a relationship with someone, but the relationship is not actually working, or there are a lot of things that you feel are not conducive to your growth and to the future, and there's a lot of there are a lot of issues or problems in the relationship, and you are thinking of leaving the relationship. It could be that once that happens, and once you choose to put yourself in a more prosperous space, or get yourself out of that negative, hazy situation, it could be that that's when you meet that person. It just seems and that was just an example, okay? It's not that that's how you're going to meet, but it does seem in any case that when you make some sort of move to further yourself, further your life, it could also be studying, or applying to a new job, changing careers, possibly moving, leaving your hometown, or just moving to a different neighborhood, or whatever it is. It seems when there is some aspect of your life that moves forward, right, that progresses in some sense and takes you out of your familiar, comfortable setting, I feel like that's when you are going to come into contact with your soulmate here. And I also feel like this whole connection is possibly going to be a very like progressive one, just by looking at this like twisty, windy road and how it's like so very long. It seems like you may have quite a long journey with that person. For some of you, it may even be like for your whole lifetime, right? If that's what you choose to do, and if that's what the other person chooses to do as well. But it definitely seems like you are going to sort of move out of a bit of a stuck or stagnant energy, and you are going to experience quite a lot with that person. So yeah, it seems rather like adventurous as well, I do have to say. A rather adventurous connection is what I'm getting here. But it's definitely like revolving around growth and progression and development. So, one more. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be a connection where you sort of settle into a routine and that's just the way that it's going to be. I feel like there are going to be a lot of developments within the connection. There is going to be a lot of like growing together, a lot of changing together, and experiencing a lot of like cool things. Some of them may be a bit like challenging as well, but like whose relationship isn't challenging at times, right? So yeah, it just seems like you were in for quite a ride. That's what I feel like. But let's move on to the oracle cards, because we have quite a few cards to go through. And this was just the sort of the first initial energy that I was sensing from this card that you chose. But we are now going to look at the actual first impression that you are going to have of your soulmate when you first meet them. Okay, we are starting off with Ascendant. We have Raccoon. We have Not For You. There's also Diana, Action, Focused Intent. Accelerated Motion. She Who Becomes, Metamorphosis, Transcend, Journey. Oh, I love that, because we're just talking about journey. And 6th house. Okay, so I actually want to start off the reading with saying that this is the first pile where I'm actually feeling that it could go either way. This could manifest in a romantic connection, but it could also manifest in a friendship soulmate type of connection. So take it as it resonates. If you know that you are already in a committed relationship and you're not looking for anything romantic with anyone, but you are just open to like finding your soul tribe and growing your like true soul level friendships, then this could be that sort of a connection for you. But yeah, anyway, as I said, it could go either way. And I'm mostly saying it because looking at these cards, the first impression that you are going to get from this person is that they are not the right one for you. Like, right, with this card actually literally says it, not for you. So there could be this sense that when you like first look at them, especially like their appearance or the way that their physical features look, possibly the sort of like the face that they have, or the way that they like express themselves with their clothing, just the way that their like aesthetic appearance is in general. It could be something that like sort of throws you off, or that doesn't seem to be something that you are normally drawn for. So you may not actually like them too much when you first meet them. There could be this like initial response to almost like pull back or distance yourself from them, especially with the Raccoon here. I get this like raccoon energy is very much like hermit energy to me in this deck. And so it feels like there is something that may be not necessarily like off-putting to you, but just something that doesn't feel like it's attractive to you, or you don't feel drawn in immediately. That's what I feel. So this is definitely not going to be one of those like falling in love or feeling a sense of like infatuation towards someone from the first time you meet them or at first sight. It's not going to be one of those types of connections. But I do feel that the thing that actually like draws you in is depicted in all of these cards. I see that the person, like the first impression that you're going to get from them is that they are very determined and that they are very sure of what they want to do with their lives, where they want to go, how they want to progress. They are very focused, right? Like this says, focused intent. They're very driven. They're very passionate about what they want to achieve and how they want to live their life. And it's definitely an energy of wanting to keep leveling up. It's not an energy of just like staying still and living a routine life and just going through the motions every day. It's not that type of energy. They are very, very industrious and they are very dedicated to work, I feel like, especially with the 6th house. I feel like they have a very strong sense of duty, a very strong sense of responsibility, and they are not afraid to do some like heavy lifting, to do hard work, to apply themselves so that they could see actual results. Because I'm looking at both of these cards with action and accelerated motion. So they are definitely the type of person who puts in a lot of work, who is not afraid to act, and who doesn't just like sit on their laurels and expect the world to hand them things, right? They don't expect to be handed things. They are willing to work for them. And that's a very admirable trait. And I feel like that's the thing that really like pulls you in as well, or that makes you feel a strong sense of respect for them. Now, we also have the She Who Becomes, Metamorphosis, Transcend, Journey. And again, I do feel like you see this person being someone who is willing to put themselves in uncomfortable positions, who is willing to put themselves in unfamiliar situations so that they could grow, so that they could transcend and keep developing and progressing on their journey, right? And I feel like it's such a powerful influence. It's such a powerful magnetic trait that that almost like pulls you in and makes you want to like progress with them. Or it could be something that you actually may be struggling somewhat yourself, or struggling with somewhat yourself. I don't know if I said it that way. Anyway, maybe you are someone who gets like who gets stuck in their sort of specific ways very easily, and who doesn't really enjoy taking risks, who doesn't really like putting themselves out there in unfamiliar situations. Maybe there is some sort of insecurity or like lack of confidence in that aspect. Whereas I feel like this person has a lot of like insecurities and is very shy about their appearance. And I feel like there may be this shyness, or there may be this like lack of security that actually like joins you, or that actually is something where you can like resonate with each other or connect with each other. But I feel like you don't really have too much problems with how you look or having like insecurities about your appearance, whereas I feel like this person definitely does, and vice versa, where they don't have that many insecurities about their like abilities and skills and talents in like going after what it is that they want and actually achieving what they want. And you may struggle in that department. So it's almost like it's almost like you actually like complement each other, or you can actually help build each other up in those respective areas. And again, so yeah, I do have to be honest. For some of you, it may be that even though at first, like during first impressions, you are not too physically attracted to them, and that may change in time as you like get to know them more and as you develop a stronger bond with them. That's a possibility. But I do have to say, more strongly, I am feeling that this is probably going to be more of a friendship type soulmate connection, just because I don't see that like attraction, that physical chemistry, that like being super pulled in and super drawn to this person. But there is a very strong like connection with you sort of helping them grow and them helping you grow. So it's almost like this mutually beneficial connection that can help you both get to a place where you can thrive, or where you can feel more confident about yourself. But it's just in different departments, so to say. That's what I feel. But yeah, with this raccoon as well, I do feel like at first this person may be a bit more like guarded and a bit more shy and a bit more reserved. You may definitely feel that they are somewhat like unreachable, or that they are somewhat like, you can actually sense that they are insecure about their looks, or they are insecure about presenting themselves. But again, I feel like that when they actually start like talking about their goals in life and their principles and their values and what they deem important and what sort of like foundations they operate from, I feel like that's when you actually sort of recognize how special this person is. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling, pile number 3. I hope that it's not too much of a bummer for those of you who possibly were expecting or were hoping for like a romantic connection. And again, I'm not saying that that's not possible, and I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. It is a possibility, but I do feel like it's more so up to you whether you want to take it there, because this feels more so like a friendship type thing. And when we start looking at the cards that reflect how your relationship will develop or how it will grow, we may actually see which direction it takes. But I do have to be honest, I'm feeling a more strong like friendship soulmate level connection here. So yeah, just saying. Anyway, so let's move on to the tarot portion and see how your feelings will develop towards this person as time goes on, and how your connection will develop. So let's see. We have the 2 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups. And for your connection, we have the King of Swords, the Hermit, again with that raccoon energy, and the 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so let's start off with the first 3 cards here. 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups. Now, these 3 cards are showing us how your feelings will develop regarding this person, this soulmate. And with the 2 of Pentacles, I do see you at first sort of contemplating and playing with the idea that it could turn into something else, that it could like go somewhere, or I at least see you like keeping it a possible option, and seeing how how your feelings grow. I feel like you're not going to shut the door completely, even though, as I said, there doesn't seem to be this initial attraction there. Again, purely based on like physical traits because of this ascendant card. So it's going to be more of that physical appearance aspect of the person. So even though they are not your type physically, you seem to be like entertaining the thought of like possibly having that change in time. But now with the 4 of Pentacles, it seems to me that that's not actually going to be happening, because the 4 of Pentacles is very much like staying where it is, right? It's a very like stuck energy. And so I feel like you sort of feel that, at least when it comes to the physical aspect, because again, these are both Pentacles cards, so this is talking about like more physical, material aspect of life. At least when it comes to the physical aspect of that person, it seems that there aren't going to be any changes, or at like one point you realize that like attraction is just not going to be there, and that's just the way that it is. But with the Six of Cups here, this is a full on like soulmates energy. So I do see that you absolutely recognize that there is something special about this person, that there is like this, almost this like kindred souls, or like you recognize their soul somehow and their soul recognizes you. Like there is something deeper on like an emotional level that you feel towards this person, and that they no doubt feel towards you. But it just doesn't seem to be romantic. I'm not getting any like passion, any romance here. This is just like, this is that pure soulmate energy that is just speaking of two souls that resonate with each other, that know each other, that are familiar with each other, but that are not coming together in the capacity to share their lives in a romantic bond. And that's okay, right? Not all soulmates in our life are meant to do that for us. So yeah, I kind of, that's what I see when it comes to your emotions and your feelings, how your feelings are going to develop towards this person. So your like emotional closeness with that person is definitely going to be something that you like recognize and acknowledge, and that may be like deepening in time, or you may get like closer to them. You may feel like a sense of closeness, but there is just not going to be that like physical attraction there, and that seems to stay that way. And now looking at how your connection will develop, and I do have to say I still feel very strongly that it is going to be up to you and this other person, how you want to handle this connection and how you want to move forward. But with both the King of Swords and the Hermit, this seems to be like, these are both very detached, like emotionally, or how should I say? These are both like very, yeah, I guess detached is the best way to say it. These are both very detached energies. So I don't see any like physical closeness here, but the main energy that this connection is ruled by is like spiritual level, because we have the air element here, and then we have the Hermit, which is Virgo. But again, it's that same like raccoon energy that I was feeling, right? That there is this like reserved aspect here that I see. But with the Hermit, this is also a lot about like realizations and inner growth, inner understanding, right? The deepening of understanding yourself and learning some very valuable lessons. Even with the King of Swords here too, this is all about that, like having a very clear vision of things, having a very clear understanding of things, coming to some important conclusions, or like expanding the mind, being very, very open-minded and maturing and developing mentally to the most like to the highest level possible. So, and with the King of Swords as well, the King of Swords is very secure in their capabilities. They know what they know. They know that they have an acute mind, and they work with the facts, and they are not afraid to take action. They are not afraid to do what is necessary, right? Because the King of Swords is the highest card of all the swords suit. So they are the decision-making, the leader, the one who others can rely on. So it's a very strong energy with the King of Swords. And so I do feel like both of you are going to be offering that sort of security and confidence and self-belief and self-trust to each other. But it's all going to happen like within yourselves, within your own like emotional and mental and spiritual bodies. And it's just the sort of the effect that you will have on each other, but it doesn't mean that you're going to necessarily be sharing those experiences together, if that makes any sense at all. I hope that it's not getting too confusing. Because again, remember, as I said, there is a level of detachment here. And with the Six of Wands in reverse coming out as the last card, as I said, there seems to be like no passion here. Wands is all about passion and fire, and I don't see that like developing. So one way to see it is that the connection is just not going to develop past this like mental and spiritual place, and that you will just sort of find the realization and find the knowledge and find the understanding that leads you to see where your insecurities lie, both for both of you, right? And sort of get a higher understanding of that. With the Six of Wands in reverse, this can just be reflective of those insecurities that we were talking about. But the other way that I see this is that with the Six of Wands in reverse, it could just mean that your connection is at one point going to sort of come to an end, or it's possibly not going to lead to a place where one of you wants it to go. And I do feel very strongly that it's the other person who is possibly having some like hopes or expectations for the connection, because as I said, it feels very strongly that on your part of things, your feelings are very much set in place. You know what you feel, and those feelings, they're not going to grow, they're not going to change with the Four of Pentacles. But this other person may definitely feel a certain way about you and wanting to take that connection to a specific place, but I don't really see that happening. So as I said, I hope that I said it, because I have to be honest, I don't really remember. These messages just come through and then I totally forget what has been said and what hasn't. But with this going forward card, right, I do feel like it's very much up to you and up to this other person how you want to move this connection forward and where you want to take it, where you want it to lead. So I do feel like it's very much up to you also to decide how you want to take this relationship forward, and whether you want to continue this relationship for a longer period of time. That is absolutely up to you. But yeah, I definitely do see that if you both do decide to like still keep each other in each other's lives, right? If you don't want to lose this connection, and you want to at the very least like have this friendship connection, then I don't see it developing past that point. Again, it's that same energy that I was feeling. It could be, again, because remember, you have free will and they have free will. So it could happen for some of you. You never know. But I am getting a more strong feeling that, especially because of the Four of Pentacles here and the Six of Wands here, and those very, very like unemotional, as bad as it sounds, unemotional energies here, I do see that it's going to stay like strictly platonic. And if that's okay for the other person as well, then that's how you will like help each other grow. But if that other person is not okay with just being friends, then it could be that the relationship comes to an end at one point. But either way, no matter how this relationship ends up playing out for you guys, it's definitely a connection that, as I said, teaches you a lot about your own insecurities and helping you to see the facts, helping you see the truth of the matter, and helping you see how capable and wise and mature you really are. It's helping you to find more assurance within yourself with the Hermit here. So this is definitely this is a connection that was meant to happen. This person is someone that you were meant to meet in this lifetime, and they were meant to meet you. Again, how far this goes and how long you want to keep this person in your life and how long they want to keep you in their life is completely up to you. But I do see that both of you have very valuable things to teach each other and to help each other out with. So That's what I see here. But let's now look at these final oracle cards from Spirit. These are going to be advice from Spirit regarding this reading. So let's see what Spirit has to say. We have Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. Yeah, it's interesting that we had Diana here in the center of the reading with also an arrow, right? So I do feel like boundaries are very, very important, and making it like super clear and super transparent to this other person how you are feeling and what your intentions are, especially if you do feel like this other person may be developing feelings towards you in the capacity that extends the feelings that you have, right? If you feel that they are sort of getting sort of more smitten with you, or wanting to develop the connection in some way, then I do feel like it's very important to, I just feel boundaries with this card, honestly. Not that you need to, I'm not feeling necessarily that you have to protect yourself from this person or anything like that. It just feels like establishing your boundaries and letting that person know where you stand. That's what I'm feeling more than anything. Okay, let's see what else. Wow, we have Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Okay, so yeah, this feels like Spirit is just saying to like open up your heart, right? And allow this person to share their feelings with you as well. Even if you don't reciprocate them. But I feel like with this love and let yourself be loved, there's this need to be like very vulnerable and very honest and open. And I feel like it's especially necessary because of these insecurities that this other person has. So again, it seems like your role in this connection is to sort of help build up their confidence as well, so that they could sort of get past the physical appearance level and start seeing the amazing traits that they possess and the qualities that make them a really special person. So I feel like this is just sort of, especially with both of those cards coming out together like this, it seems like just Spirit is saying to say how you feel, but to be as kind, as gentle, as like caring and nurturing as you possibly can, so that you wouldn't like chip away at their confidence even more. Okay, this is a very, very delicate subject, and it needs to be dealt with and handled with extreme care as well. And let's see, what's the final message? We have Moon. Take note of intuitive messages. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of like intuition, or a lot of psychic nudges that are going to be happening for you, because again, we have the Six of Cups here and we also have the Hermit here. So with the Six of Cups, as I said, I do feel like you feel that there is something special about that person. You recognize something in them, and you realize that this is no like ordinary person, that this is no ordinary connection, and you can appreciate the sort of the divine aspect of you two even meeting each other, and that there is a bigger reason behind you meeting each other, but it's just not in a romantic capacity. But I feel like your intuition is actually the thing that like keeps you wanting to like talk to this person, or that keeps you wanting to keep this connection alive, because you see that there is something very valuable in here, even if it's not like something that you can see like logically or rationally. It's something that you can sense and feel, like all of those, again, those spidey senses, those intuitive nudges, those are going to be the feelings or the sensations that you feel with this person, and that's really what like draws you in. And when you get to know them more, and when you see what they are all about, and when they talk about their what they sort of want and what their drives and all of that are, then you can sort of recognize what they are very strong at and what you may be lacking yourself, and how that can sort of, how you can like balance each other out in that sense. Yeah, this feels like a very like spiritual connection. And I hope that you are not too like bummed, especially if you are actually hoping for a romantic partnership more than a friendship. Then you may be a bit bummed by this, but again, I feel like there's a very specific reason why you are being like brought together with this person, and that they do have an important role to serve in your life as well as you in theirs. So just stay open to it and see sort of where it goes, and see what sort of intuitive feelings and nudges you get when you are with this person and when you meet this person. But just be very like clear and upfront about your intentions and how you feel and what your sort of vision is, but do it in a very, very like gentle way as well. And yeah, I guess that's really it. I don't really have that much else to say here, pile 3, other than I hope that you still enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it resonated for some of you. If this is the case, please let me know how this situation plays out and what you decide to do about it, if this actually, you know, if this manifests and if it comes to pass. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get your sort of story or your side of things on it. But thank you so much for watching. You can leave me a thumbs up, you can leave me a comment in the comment section, and also you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and if you would like to hang out with me in the future too, I would really appreciate it. But other than that, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you very soon in my next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. I am so happy that you are here watching this reading. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get straight to this reading, shall we? So you chose this Miracles card, and this is an absolutely beautiful, stunning card, and it's very magical as well, as you can see, because we have 2 rainbows here. So it's a double rainbow, and it's not something that happens every single time you see a rainbow. It's not something that happens every day. And so the message that I'm getting from this card here is that your soulmate, and when you meet your soulmate, it will almost feel like something that is magical, something that is possibly like, it almost makes you think that you can't believe that this is actually happening. You can't believe that you have met this person and that this has finally happened. From the energy that I'm getting off of this card, I am getting a stronger sort of feeling that this is going to be a romantic soulmate type connection for you, but please take it as it resonates. If that's not the case, then that's not the case. But that's what I'm feeling more strongly here. I don't know why, but I'm kind of getting the sense that like the way that you come together with this person is somewhat complex, or there are like so many levels to it that it's actually, that it makes it like crazy that you actually came together, that you actually found each other. It seems like the journeys that lead you together, like both yours and theirs, both of your journeys have been like so complex and so like twisty and turny. And even like the way that the point where you do finally meet up, there are so many variables, and there are so many things that could have played out in a different way, that it's almost like a perfect storm is kind of what I want to say. You know, I don't know why, but I'm kind of getting this the analogy or the comparison of the planet Earth, and how Earth came to be, and how like there were so many specific conditions that had to be in a specific way for Earth to even become like this habitable planet that it is. Okay, I'm sorry, I completely blanked out, so let me start from somewhere again and sort of try and get out this feeling or this idea that I have. So I was talking about this analogy of like planet Earth, and how this card is reminding me of it, how like there were specific conditions that all had to happen like simultaneously in the perfect way in order for planet Earth to become this habitable planet that it is. And all of those conditions that were in place was something that were like almost like this 1 in a million, or the the probability of those conditions happening like exactly at the same time and exactly in the manner that they needed to happen, it's very, very unlikely, or it's a very rare occurrence, right? Hence this aspect or this energy of miracles. And that's sort of what I feel with you as well, that it almost seems like so many things had to happen in exactly the way that they do for you to sort of meet this person. So it may be a bit like incomprehensible how you even came to meet, and how this whole thing happened, and how this connection starts playing out. But there is something very special, very unique, and very rare. And I feel like that sense of like rarity is the thing that you feel very strongly when you meet this person. Yeah, this feels very like super divine and super like meant to be, or very much like guided. And I'm looking at both of those like rainbows as well. And it feels like both of you had to arrive at your journeys to the specific point that you did at the specific time that both of you did. It had to be very much like in sync for this connection to actually manifest, to come about. And I feel like once you start like revealing the different aspects and your past like experiences and everything that you have gone through and everything that has led you to this point of like you coming together or you meeting, you will start realizing just how spectacular it is that everything played out the way that it did. Like I feel like you're going to realize how crazy it is. That's the energy that I'm feeling here. But anyway, that's just this initial energy that I was sort of tapping into, or that came to me about your connection and about this soulmate when you first meet them. But we are now actually going to go into the oracle card portion and look more specifically what sort of a first impression your soulmate will leave on you. So what will you think of them when you first meet them? Wow, we have Libra. We have Sea Serpent. Yeah. Wow, we have Never Ending Story, number 37, reducing down to 10 or 1. We have number 40, Rhiannon, the Muse, Creative Inspiration. We have number 6, Third Eye Chakra. We have She Who Calms, Stillness, Purity, Quiet. And we have Aries. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna put the cards in their place, but you had Libra and Aries. This is insane because Libra and Aries are opposing signs. They are literally on the other ends of the axis, or on like different ends of the axis in the astrological wheel. So yeah, what was I saying? This is kind of crazy that there is something very like synchronistic, or something where like you have to arrive at specific places at the same time. It's crazy. I actually love that this is here. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna calm down now. Okay, pile number 4. So this definitely feels like a very interesting mix of energies, and just based on like how scattered the energies feel, it could be that you don't exactly know quite how to feel about this person either when you first meet them. Like there could be a lot of very confusing or very contradicting first impressions that you get from them, because even with Libra and Aries, right, the two astrological cards here, which as I said are on the opposite ends of the astrological wheel, it could be that you get quite a polarizing impression from them. Like on the one hand, with this Libra card, you could feel that they are very like loving and understanding, and like diplomatic and fair, and just very like gentle as well, and just trying to like understand where you're coming from and trying to connect with you, trying to make sense of you and find like a common ground where you can kind of come together. But then on this other end with Aries, there is also this like possibly like a bit of ego, or possibly like some selfishness, and possibly a quick temper, or some like brashness, or being too quick to like jump to things. Or again, those are very like, those are polarizing aspects, right? So it could be that that's how you view them as well, that there are very like polarizing energies about this person, and you may not quite know how to make sense of it. Now, because we have the sea serpent and we have this never-ending story here, there is a cyclical energy that I'm feeling, even with this card, to be honest, because this Rhiannon card, as you can see here from the symbol as well, this is representative of a moon cycle or moon phase, and this is the waxing gibbous moon phase. So with the moon being here, there is this cyclical changing nature, and so you could be feeling like this is just like there is some sort of, how should I say, that you are again drawn to a specific type of person, or that there is again something that you like need to go through, or there could be like a point of like recognition, or something that like triggers something that you've already gone through within you. With this never-ending story, this is definitely a feeling of like seeing something similar, or seeing something that you already know coming back around again. And with this card, there may also be a certain reaction that you have towards this person that is something that you sort of tend to do. So let's say that you are someone who gets attached very easily or very quickly, or who falls head over heels very quickly for someone, who possibly like loses themselves in some sort of a fantasy or like a romantic dream about this person, or about the person that you are interested in. And so you sort of tend to act in the same way, or you tend to like make the same mistakes, or end up playing out the same pattern with everyone. So it could be something like that you're feeling, especially with the sea serpent and Libra here as well. Sea serpent is actually a card of the sacral chakra. That's the chakra that this represents, and this is a place of like passion and fertility, and also like creativity. So it's interesting that you also have this creative inspiration here. But with it being like next to Libra and never ending story, it sort of makes me feel like there could be a very strong like emotional or romantic pull towards this person that may like trigger the sense in you that, oh my God, I'm doing it again, or you know, I'm getting like way too invested way too quickly again. So just be ready for that, because it seems like it's something that you are going to experience as you meet this person and as these feelings sort of rise up in you. But I actually feel like this person is going to make you see things, or make you sort of think things in a different way, or it's actually going to illuminate some things for you, especially with the third eye chakra here. The third eye chakra reveals to us what our intuition is telling us. It helps us see past what is actually like visually available before us. It helps us see sort of the underlying currents, and it alerts us to what our intuition is guiding us towards, how we should act, what we should do. And with the third eye chakra being here, especially with the muse, again, I do feel like you recognize straight away that this is a special connection, and that's why you feel so sort of, you feel this draw, or this like connection, or this affection towards this person so quickly. And it may scare you. It may like put you in this mode of like beating yourself up over it, or feeling very like silly because of it, or something like that. Just because in the past, I feel like in past experiences, falling for someone way too quickly has made you pay a very dear price as well. It's definitely something that has given you some grief in the past. And so I feel like with all of these emotions bubbling up so quickly, you may get triggered, or you may feel like this is going to lead down a really like doomed path again, or you're going to end up being hurt again. So you may have that sort of sensation, but I feel like the reason why these feelings and this passion and this like wanting to feeling like this romantic pull towards them very quickly, especially because Libra was the first card that came out. So feeling this like romantic pull towards this person, and why it's so strong is because you realize that this person actually has a deeper connection to you, or that your connection is somewhat like deeper, and that this person is here to reveal to you and show to you some extremely meaningful and valuable things. I feel like they are going to act as a bit of a muse to you, or they are going to sort of inspire you to become a better person, to start doing things differently, to break out of some patterns. And the reason why I'm saying it is because we have number 37 here, which, as I said, reduces down to 10 or 1. 10 is again a number of like cyclic energy. It's something reaching its endpoint and reducing back down to 1, starting a new journey. And I also noticed that we have number 40, which reduces down to 4, and we have 6 with third eye chakra. And if you add 4 to 6, you get another 10. So there is a lot of like this cyclical energy, or this like reaching a certain level in some chapter, closing it out and starting a new one. So this leveling up energy is definitely what I feel here. And I feel like you are going to feel it too when you first meet this person, that there is something like deeper there. Again, something like quite complex, something quite polarizing that you can't put your finger on. There are a lot of like these scattered energies that will come up for you. But I feel like the underlying energy, the strongest energy here, because again, this is the third eye chakra. This is that intuitive pull that you just can't ignore and that you just can't explain. This is what I feel like is going to sort of take over and rule this connection, or it's going to sort of force you to get out of your head and to still pursue this person and to pursue this connection, even if you do get triggered and even if you do get scared of like stepping into the same traps again, or making the same mistakes again that you have made in the past. Because even we have this she who calms, stillness, purity, quiet. I do feel like this person actually has a very calming effect on you. So when these like anxieties come up, or these worries come up of you like doing the same thing all over again, I feel like this person will actually sort of step in and help you and help calm your anxieties. And part of this calming effect, I feel, comes from this Aries energy, because again, as I said, Aries is like very, very passionate, very driven, very fiery, but also very expressive and very much like action oriented. So I feel like you will actually get a lot of assurance from this person, because they will actually show you how they are different, or they won't just like calm you down with their words or with their presence, but they will also sort of back it up with their actions. Because Aries, after all, is about taking action. It's Mars energy. It's that like divine masculine force, whereas Libra is Venus energy, divine feminine. And so again, as I said, it's beautiful that you're getting both of these, because it sort of makes me feel like there is a beautiful harmony of this feminine and masculine coming together. And it may sort of reflect the nature of this person, that they have this beautiful balance of like feminine and masculine coming together. But it could also mean that that's sort of the energy that you feel, this energetic pull that you have towards them, that you feel a sense of completion, or you feel a sense of like balancing each other out, with possibly you being this like Venusian energy and them being this like Mars energy. So again, as I said, with both of these rainbows, it feels like there is something very like equal, or that the way that your journey sort of come together and the way that you two end up meeting and the point that you arrive at, it seems to be like very similar or very synchronistic. And so it feels like there is a synchronistic energy, or a very like balancing out energy that also exists when you first meet them. So yeah, it's something about their energy that you will definitely pick up on intuitively. Again, not possibly by like just your other senses, like your physical senses, but your sixth sense, right? That like hunch, that feeling that this is somehow special, or that this person is somehow special, and that this is no ordinary coming together. So yeah, I don't know, there is a lot here, there is a lot happening here, but I'm gonna leave it for the time being and move on to the tarot cards. But yeah, I do have to say, pile 4, this feels very magical, very, very magical, like very, very special. And I feel like you are going to it's going to inspire a sort of, I don't know, it's going to inspire something in you. This person is going to inspire something in you. And I feel like this connection is going to inspire something in you too. It almost seems like this person had to come in, or you couldn't really like fulfill what you were meant to do, or what you are supposed to do, like a very important task in your life, before you actually met this person. I feel like they are an integral part of your journey somehow, and you are going to be, I feel like, creating something with them, something very special, something very magical, and something very substantial, possibly something that you, like, again, made a contract with each other about, so, like, promising that when you come together in this lifetime, that's what you are going to be creating, the two of you. Yeah, like a joint effort type thing. But what it is, I honestly can't say. I just feel like this is something very, very magical. But let's now move on to the tarot cards, and we are actually going to see more clearly how your feelings will develop towards this person, and how your relationship will move forward with this person, how this connection will develop. So we're starting off with 3 of Pentacles and the King of Cups, not surprised, and the Knight of Swords. Yep. Okay, and we have the Page of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, and the 9 of Cups. Okay, interesting. So let's address these cards. So we first have the 3 of Pentacles with the King of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Now these 3 cards are talking about your feelings and how your feelings are going to be developing as you sort of get closer and closer with this person. Now, with the 3 of Pentacles and the King of Cups, it's clear to me that you will feel, especially with the 3 of Pentacles, that you will feel very like strong and very serious emotions towards this person. Especially the 3 of Pentacles, this is about like long-term building something together, creating like you see here, right? Creating like this tapestry, or like wanting to invest yourself in a project, or in a situation that takes time, that takes effort. And especially with the King of Cups as well, like this is very sincere, this is deep emotional commitment and emotional dedication. You can see, well, actually you may not be able to see that too well, but there are these thin, extremely thin rays that are just like bursting out of his chest. And it's all about this like open heart chakra. It's all about this love that is like just pouring out of him. And with the Knight of Swords is a very, very quick energy, a very fast energy. It's Gemini in essence. And so all of these cards together paint a very clear picture to me, and it's exactly what we were already talking about. You are going to develop very strong feelings towards this person very quickly, and And especially as time goes on, I feel like those feelings are going to get even more serious, even more deep. You are going to realize that this is the person that you may want to like build a life with, build a home with, build a family with. You may get those very, very serious, very dedicated feelings very quickly, especially with the King of Cups. The King of Cups is the center card here. It's a card of Scorpio, and Scorpio is a fixed sign. So this is like full-on dedication. Like, I am sticking around. I'm not going anywhere. And so your feelings seem to be like solidifying in time as well, and it may actually end up frightening you a bit. Again, like even with the first meeting or the first impression that you have, it may scare you how strong of a pull you feel, especially because it sort of feels like you haven't felt that way about someone in a very, very long time, or no person has stirred those sort of emotions in you in a very long time, maybe even ever. Maybe you have never felt those types of feelings, or like feelings that are as intense for someone, even though, as I said, it seems like there are going to be certain emotions that this person triggers in you that like do remind you of, like, again, past patterns, past mistakes, and like falling too quickly for someone. But this seems like the intensity is cranked up even more. Yeah, it may terrify you, and it may actually cause this desire or this urge to run away. Like with the Knight of Swords, this is an energy of like wanting to bolt. But I don't actually feel you doing that. I more so feel that this is just the like the effect that the intensity of these feelings is going to have on you, and the fact that these feelings of yours are going to be growing very, very quickly, and it's going to be almost like out of your control. Like you can't manage your feelings, and that may be very, very scary for you. But I do see you falling very, very hard and very, very deeply for this person. But now, moving on to how your connection will develop, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. And again, I do feel like with the Page of Pentacles here, it does seem like the idea of like committing, or the idea of building something solid and starting something secure, it may actually be a bit scary for both of you, because as I said, it seems like there is some similarity between your journey, something that the both of you have gone through in your past that has led you to the point where you end up meeting. So commitment and like true dedication to a person, it may be a sore subject for both of you. It may be something that like scares the both of you. But I do feel like with the Nine of Cups here that you are going to be overcoming that fear. You're going to be breaking through it and actually finding like emotional safety, emotional security, emotional well-being. It seems like the more the time goes on, and the more that you actually do solidify this connection, and the more that you do find out about each other, because the Page of Pentacles is also about like learning, discovering, building a stronger foundation, right? It's all about that, like getting a more detailed picture of something, or in this case someone. The more that you get to know this person, and the more that they get to know you on a deeper level, and with all of your fears and insecurities and all of that as well, the more sort of at ease and the more confident you feel with each other. Remember, we had this card here too. We had She Who Calms, Stillness, Purity, Quiet. So I do feel like this person has a very sort of profound ability to calm your fears and to calm your anxieties. And I actually feel like you have the effect on them as well. Or like it seems to be mutual. Again, with this Libra and Aries energy, it seems like you sort of offer the perfect thing to each other, or you complement each other in the perfect way. And the reason why you are brought together exactly at the time that you are is because you have both gotten exactly the experiences that you needed to get, so that you could balance each other out perfectly like that, so that you could help each other the way in which both of you need to be helped, or the way in which both of you need to be supported. There is this growth element here with the muse creative inspiration and this sea serpent energy here too, that, as I said, talks about like fertility, creation, all that type of thing. You are definitely going to be growing, and you are definitely going to be helping each other find more peace, find more security, find more safety, especially in the emotional sense, because this is the Cups card. And again, once again, we have this image of this woman, like, just she's in water, but like the way that she's depicted here and the way that her chest is just like streaming, or these rays are just like pouring out of her, it's very evident that her heart space is open. And I do see that like reflected in both of these cards. So I feel like you are going to sort of help each other develop the security to be more vulnerable. Again, this inspiration energy, right? I feel like you are going to inspire them and they are going to inspire you. So yeah, I just want you to be prepared that there are definitely going to be fears that get activated for you by this person, and it could be that you activate some fears in them as well. But the good thing is that you are both capable of calming those fears or neutralizing those fears in each other, because you both are able to offer each other what the other one is lacking, or what the other one needs to sort of build up within themselves. So yeah, this seems like quite a powerful connection, quite a magical connection, and something that you won't have control over. But I feel like it's something that is meant to happen. And especially with the third eye chakra here, I actually feel like the safety lies in this card here, if I'm being completely honest. The safety lies in this like intuitive knowledge that this is no ordinary connection, that this is not like all of the other connections that you've had. This is not like the past that you have already gone through. This feels different, this feels special, this feels spectacular in some way, even if you are not able to put it into words, even if you're not able to see it like straight out why that is. It's just a feeling. That's what I feel. But yeah, okay, let's leave it here, I suppose, and move on to the final part of the reading, which is oracle cards, messages, or I should say advice from spirit to you. Okay, the last thing I want to say before we go to the advice portion is that because we have this Libra and Aries, so those two astrological signs could be important in yours and their charts. So it could be that you have significant planets in those signs. It could be that you have significant houses in those signs. It could be that you just have a lot of planets in these signs, or that it could just mean that you are an air sign and they are a fire sign, or vice versa. Take it as it resonates, but it definitely seems like there is like a divine balancing energy that is coming out here, or this like polarizing, or this like on opposite ends of energy. Right, anyway, we talked about it, you know what I'm saying. But let's go and look at these oracle cards now. So we have High Priestess, Harness Mystic Power. Wow, yeah. Yeah, again, I love that it says Harness Mystic Power, because it is going to be mystical. Like, it's that third eye chakra. It's exactly the thing that I just finished talking about. You can't see it, you can't logically explain it, it's just something that you feel. And it's something that you can't quite put your finger on. Again, it's a miracle, it's magical, it's something spectacular, because it was constructed by the divine. With the High Priestess as well, this is talking about how important it is for you to follow your intuition, to tap into what your like intuitive senses are telling you, what your psychic senses are telling you, and sort of go off of that. We also have Broken Arrow, Embrace the Energy of Peace. Again, we had peace. I think we had peace here, right? Was it? Oh no, it was just stillness, purity, quiet. But anyway, I don't know, it made me think of peace for some reason. So embrace the energy of peace. Exactly. I feel like the fears may prop up for you, but Spirit is saying that it's actually all good. There is no threat. You are safe, and it's just asking you to accept this newfound energy in a relationship that you possibly have never experienced before. So just being at peace, not getting freaked out about your emotions and the intensity of your emotions. That's what I feel like Spirit is also saying. And finally, we have Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. Yeah, so I love that it actually says movement and action, because that's Aries for you. That is movement and action for sure. But again, I feel like with the message of being graceful, the most important thing is to not let yourself get freaked out by what you're feeling, and to sort of try not to overthink things, because again, remember, Libra is an air sign, and I am feeling more strongly that you are ruled by this section and that they are ruled by this section. I feel like you are this Venus and they are this Mars, or take it as it resonates and change the energies if you need to accordingly. But I am getting a stronger sense that you in this situation are more in this airy energy. So you may be more in your head and get more sucked up into these dreams or illusions or fantasies or fears as well, right? So just be mindful and don't rush into anything based on what your impulses may be bringing up for you. Because again, I feel like your intuition is going to be telling you a whole different story, and your intuition is going to help you to see that there is nothing to fear, that there is nothing to worry about, and that you can be at peace, you can be chill and relaxed, and everything is fine. You are not in any sort of danger. But yeah, I do in general feel like this relationship is going to have a profound effect on your life, and that you and this person are going to sort of almost help alleviate the aftermath of everything that you have experienced previously, and you are going to help each other sort of see the magic in it, see the beauty in it, and open up to a truly amazing, vulnerable soul connection. So wow, I'm gonna leave it here, pile number 4. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it was interesting, and that you resonated with this reading. If this is your story, if it actually comes to be, I would love for you to let me know. You can do that by giving me a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment down in the comment section. I honestly, I love reading your comments. I love finding out how these readings resonate, and how they, what sort of thoughts and feelings they bring up in you. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't done that already. But if you would like to hang out in the future, I would really, really, really love to do that. But anyway, thank you so much. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, any information that you need is in the description box. And I hope to see you very soon in my next reading. Take care. Bye-bye.